Naoya was a high school student who had a girlfriend named Saki at the time. He confessed his feelings to Saki, who had been close to him since they were little. Saki accepted his confession and they started dating in the spring. Naoya felt like he was the happiest person in the world. After class ended, Shino asked Saki to come with her to their club activities. Before leaving, Saki told Naoya she would be going and Naoya said he would wait until she finished. However, Saki told him that it was okay to head home first once in a while and reminded him not to secretly cheat on her. Naoya was shocked and asked if Saki really thought he would ever do something like that. He apologized if he had made her anxious. He hugged Saki tightly and said he would love her even more so she would never have to worry about that. Saki asked him to let go, but instead, Naoya shouted out how much he loved her and asked if she could feel it. That made Saki really embarrassed and she told him to save things like that for when they were alone. She said he was being way too intense, or maybe just weird, since he could not even take a joke. To her, what he had just done was totally over the top. Naoya told her that he did not want to lie about how he felt and could not hold back when it came to expressing his love for his girlfriend. He admitted that he felt that way because Saki only accepted his feelings once they were in high school, even though he had already confessed to her back when they were in grade school. To him, it was only natural that he wanted to protect their relationship. Saki explained that back in grade school or middle school, those kinds of feelings were too heavy for her to deal with, but now she was ready to accept everything. Before she left, Naoya told her that she looked really cute that day. While Saki was at her club activity, Naoya waited for her on the school rooftop. Not long after, a girl suddenly walked up to him. She had come to confess her feelings to him. Naoya was shocked and shouted in surprise. The girl introduced herself as Nagisa, a first-year student. She asked Naoya what he thought about how she looked. Naoya answered honestly, saying she looked really cute. Hearing that made Nagisa happy. She said she was grateful for all the effort she had put in over the past 3 months. She told him that every single day she trained her muscles, jogged, and did yoga for 4 hours, and then spent another 3 hours on her appearance before going to bed. Naoya told her she was a hard worker. It turned out that Nagisa had wanted to be in perfect shape when she confessed her feelings. Naoya called that incredibly sincere. On top of that, she had also worked hard on her cooking because she wanted to win a guy's heart through her food. That was why she had spent 8 hours every day practicing her cooking. Hearing that, Naoya asked if her body was okay and told her to make sure she took care of her health. Nagisa said she was totally fine. Then she asked if Naoya wanted to try her cooking. The food she brought looked delicious, and sure enough, when Naoya tasted it, the flavor was amazing. He said it felt like Nagisa was pushing herself too hard, but she did not think so. She said she did all of it for Naoya, and that it actually made her feel happy. Nagisa explained that the amazing taste of her cooking came from using Matsusaka beef, fresh sea shrimp, and foie gras, which she had bought using the money she earned from her part-time job. Of course, the ingredients were expensive. Hearing that, Naoya said she was trying way too hard and was just too kind. Nagisa then asked if she looked charming to him. Naoya told her that of course she did. Nagisa was moved by his words. She asked if Naoya would go out with her and whether or not she was a good match for him. Naoya told her that he would honestly be really happy if they dated, but unfortunately, he already had a girlfriend. Nagisa admitted that things had gone just as she had expected. She said she would not give up just because she had been rejected once and planned to confess her feelings to Naoya again. After saying that, she turned to leave, but suddenly, Naoya grabbed her hand. He told her that he already had a girlfriend. He truly loved his girlfriend and wanted to protect that relationship. However, he also admitted that deep down, he found Nagisa incredibly charming and wanted to live his life by her side too. He did not want to turn down Nagisa's feelings, but at the same time, he could not bring himself to betray his girlfriend either. So if it was truly allowed, he said he would choose to date both of them. Naoya then asked Nagisa if she would be willing to talk to his girlfriend together and asked for her permission. He apologized, saying that was the only option he could offer. After taking a moment to think, Nagisa agreed, saying there was no harm in at least trying. Meanwhile, Saki and Shino had just finished their club activities. Shino commented that Saki was in top shape that day. Suddenly, Naoya showed up and asked if he could talk to Saki. Shino casually remarked that Naoya was being as affectionate as ever, then excused herself, saying she did not want to interrupt. Naoya said he wanted to talk about Nagisa. Nagisa introduced herself and Saki was instantly charmed by how cute she was. Saki immediately invited her to hang out. Naoya said he had something important he wanted to talk about, but Saki pointed out that it would be hard to have a proper conversation if they barely knew each other. Naoya agreed and the three of them ended up going to a karaoke place together. Unfortunately, Nagisa's singing voice turned out to be pretty bad. After they finished singing, Nagisa apologized for her unpleasant voice, but to Saki, the way Nagisa looked so shy about it made her even cuter. Next, the three of them played basketball together. Unexpectedly, while dribbling, Nagisa slipped and fell. Saki, who saw the fall from behind, remarked that Nagisa's underwear looked really cute. Later, while they were sitting at the bus stop, Saki ate Nagisa's homemade lunch. She said it tasted so good it made her feel like she wanted to marry Nagisa. Hearing that, Nagisa was happy that her cooking matched Saki's taste. Naoya then asked Saki what she thought of Nagisa. Saki honestly said that she actually felt like dating her. Naoya said he understood how she felt. Then he looked at Saki and told her that he wanted to date both of them. Hearing that, Saki looked completely confused. Naoya explained that earlier, Nagisa had confessed her feelings and asked him to be her boyfriend. And now, the more he got to know her, the more he realized how captivating she was. He was truly amazed by her. Because of that, he had started thinking about dating both of them. After listening to all of that, Saki admitted that she still did not fully understand what Naoya was trying to say. Naoya told her that as a person, he could not cheat behind her back. If Saki allowed it, he wanted to be honest and open about dating both of them. Upon hearing that, Saki immediately punched Naoya in the face. She said there was no way she would allow something like that. Naoya said he wanted them to talk it over first, but Saki still refused. Naoya admitted that he felt guilty towards Saki, but Saki told him that if he already had someone, he should be satisfied with what he had. She was about to hit him again, but Nagisa quickly stepped in to stop her. Nagisa did not want any violence between them. Saki then asked Nagisa if she really had no problem with sharing her love. Nagisa said that she believed Saki would not break up with Naoya. If Naoya was not allowed to date both of them, then it meant she would be rejected. And for that reason, Nagisa agreed to it. Saki never expected Nagisa to feel that way, so she asked what made Naoya so special in Nagisa's eyes. For Nagisa, Naoya meant everything. She pleaded with Saki to allow them to share their relationship. Saki couldn't handle seeing Nagisa's adorable face, so she closed her eyes to avoid looking at her. To Saki, a relationship should only involve one girl. That was just common sense. Naoya had admitted that he was truly attracted to Nagisa. However, he couldn't bring himself to turn her down purely because of reason, especially since he still wanted to keep dating Saki. He realized that if he lied to himself and to Saki, regret would follow. That's why, instead of hiding it, he wanted to be honest about his feelings and give being with both of them a try. Still, Saki flatly refused. Curious about what it would take for her to change her mind, Naoya asked how he could convince her. But Saki told him that if she said no, then it simply wasn't going to happen. Naoya refused to give up. He said he'd do whatever it took to be allowed to date both of them. He even suggested they try it out on a trial basis. Suddenly, Nagisa begged Saki to go along with Naoya's idea. She promised to bring Saki snacks every single day so she could eat as much as she wanted. On top of that, Naoya chimed in, saying he would take good care of Saki, and even promised to give her 30,000 yen every month. He swore he'd do everything he could. Naoya admitted that asking to date both of them was selfish. He told Saki that she had every right to break up with him right then and there. He also believed that Nagisa wasn't looking to be part of a shared relationship either, but Naoya was convinced that eventually he could make both Saki and Nagisa happy. Nagisa was touched after hearing all of that, and Saki finally gave in. She agreed to let Naoya try if he truly believed he could handle it. Deep down, she thought it was impossible, and she even admitted that she had started to feel upset with him. Still, Naoya promised to give it his best. Saki then asked what would happen to their relationship after that. Naoya believed that the three of them needed to understand each other better, but Saki was convinced that nothing good would come from a relationship like this. That was when Naoya made a bold proposal. Starting that very day, the three of them should live together. Since he did not live with his parents, it would not be a problem. Nagisa agreed right away and said she would start packing. Naoya then told Saki he would contact her mother first to let her know. When they arrived at Naoya's house, Saki still could not believe the three of them were really going to live together. Nagisa said it felt like a dream. Naoya immediately got to work setting up a room for the girls, while Nagisa offered to cook dinner. Saki admitted that she was not very good at household chores, so Naoya told her to just take it easy and rest. Before long, dinner was ready. The three of them ate together. Saki loved Nagisa's cooking, which made Nagisa really happy. Naoya also mentioned that he had already prepared the bathroom so Saki could enjoy a relaxing soak. Saki felt genuinely happy and said that Naoya was being really considerate. Later, while Saki was relaxing in the bath, Nagisa came in and said she wanted to talk. Saki hesitated but agreed to listen. Their conversation turned to their relationship with Naoya, and Nagisa encouraged Saki not to hold back her feelings. Nagisa admitted that she had stepped into their relationship but hoped she had not made things too uncomfortable. Saki explained that nothing serious had happened between her and Naoya, and she was still trying to figure out how she felt. Nagisa was surprised but tried to reassure her that it was okay to take things slowly. Saki also mentioned that because she and Naoya had been childhood friends, their relationship felt more serious and complicated. Nagisa encouraged her to be more open and relaxed. Saki was caught off guard and raised her voice in response. Meanwhile, Naoya was doing the dishes when Saki came out and asked him how far things had gone between him and Nagisa. Naoya was confused by the question and Saki pushed for clarity. Nagisa then admitted that she had strong feelings for him. Naoya also confessed that he had imagined what it might be like if they were all in a relationship together. Saki was shocked and called his thinking inappropriate. Naoya apologized if it sounded wrong and explained that it was just a thought he had not wanted to hide. Saki told him that being so blunt made it sound off-putting. She acknowledged that Nagisa was cute, but said Naoya should not be thinking like that. Naoya reassured her that he would never do anything without her full support. To him, building trust and understanding between all three of them was more important than anything else. Eventually, Naoya decided that they needed to focus on growing closer as people without rushing into anything. Saki asked if that meant he did not want to move forward with her at all. Naoya said it would not feel right if it left someone else out. When he asked if she was disappointed, she got flustered and said he had misunderstood her entirely. Saki was dating Naoya. She thought he was a little too serious and kind of strange, but she also believed he genuinely cared about their relationship. At first, everything seemed fine, until Naoya suddenly told her that another girl, Nagisa, had confessed her feelings to him and wanted to date her too. What shocked Saki even more was that Naoya asked for permission to date both of them at the same time. To her, it felt like an absurd and thoughtless request. Then, to make things even more complicated, Naoya suggested that the three of them live together in his house. Saki was overwhelmed by the idea. She felt like it would only lead to confusion and emotional stress. And adding to that, Nagisa, her so-called rival, was incredibly sweet and cute. Saki could not understand how someone like Nagisa could fall for someone as unusual as Naoya. She even asked Nagisa if his awkward behavior ever bothered her. But instead of being put off, Nagisa said she was fine with it, and that if Naoya wanted the three of them to be together, she would respect that. Nagisa's response completely caught Saki off guard. She had not expected someone so gentle to be so open-minded. Almost without thinking, Saki said that maybe she wanted to date Nagisa too. At the same time, she wondered if Naoya's attention would eventually shift away from Nagisa, since she was the one who had approached him first. Later, the three went to the bedroom and found Naoya arranging 3 futons side by side. Saki asked why he had set them up like that. Naoya said he thought it would help them get used to being around each other. Saki immediately became suspicious, wondering what he was thinking. But Naoya reassured them that he had no inappropriate intentions and reminded them of his promise to respect their boundaries. Saki said that if she were in his position, she would probably find it hard to keep that promise. In response, Naoya said he would be willing to go to extreme lengths to earn their trust. Saki told him that was way too much, but she decided to believe him. Saki assumed that if anything did happen between the three of them, it would be Nagisa who initiated it. She promised herself that she would stay alert and not let things get out of hand. That night, the three of them lay down side by side and Saki quietly kept watch, determined to stay aware of everything going on. Naoya thanked Saki for going along with such an unusual situation. She stayed quiet. Nagisa guessed that Saki might have already fallen asleep because of how exhausting the day had been. Naoya admitted that it was all his fault, but in reality, Saki was only pretending to sleep. She was fully awake and paying close attention. Nagisa softly asked if it was okay to move a little closer. Saki assumed she was trying to get closer to Naoya emotionally, while Naoya just figured she was feeling uneasy in a new environment. Nagisa said she never imagined she would get to be near someone she had liked for so long. She said it felt like a dream. Saki, listening in silence, began to imagine the worst. Nagisa said she wanted to get to know Naoya better and hoped he would open up to her more. Saki grew more anxious, thinking something might be going on between them. When Nagisa said she felt truly happy, Saki could not take it anymore. She asked them directly if anything was happening. Then she quickly pulled off the blanket, only to find that they were just talking. Naoya was surprised and asked what was going on. Saki, feeling embarrassed, said she had not meant to accuse them of anything and quietly joined them under the covers, still flustered. Naoya guessed that Saki might be feeling a little left out and told her she looked really cute when she was being honest about her feelings. He suggested they could all share one Fune if it helped them feel more connected. Nagisa figured Saki was just letting her imagination run wild. That night, the three of them ended up sharing the same bed. The next morning, Nagisa woke up early and made breakfast. She still could not believe Naoya had suggested being in a relationship with both her and Saki, and even more surprising was how happy that idea made her. She knew it would not be easy, but in that moment, her happiness outweighed any worries. Being with Naoya and Saki, even in such an unusual setup, made her feel truly grateful. Nagisa knew things might not work out if Saki ultimately could not accept their new situation. If that ever happened, Nagisa feared she would be the one left behind. Even so, she was determined to make the most of the time they had together. She wanted to prove that she was someone who brought value to the group. Maybe, she thought, she could even show that she was the best match for Naoya. The only problem was, she had no idea how to do that. While thinking things over, Nagisa noticed that Saki and Naoya had left their phones unattended. A curious thought crossed her mind. Maybe understanding them better would help her figure out what to do next. Nagisa believed that being in this kind of relationship meant being open and honest, not just guessing what the others were feeling. She wanted to understand both Saki and Naoya on a deeper level, so she decided to check Saki's phone for anything that might give her insight. To her surprise, the browser history showed that Saki had recently been researching a lot of topics related to relationships and how to handle difficult emotions. It shocked Nagisa, especially since Saki usually looked up lighter things like pet videos and dessert recipes. Clearly, Saki was more trouble than she let on. Nagisa also accidentally opened Saki's Twitter account and found several posts that revealed how conflicted she felt. Some messages showed frustration toward the situation with Naoya, while others surprisingly mentioned that Nagisa seemed kind. Even though Saki was still adjusting to everything, she admitted online that she might be open to getting along better with Nagisa in time. Just then, Naoya suddenly woke up and asked what Nagisa was doing. Caught off guard, she nervously tried to explain that she was looking through Saki's phone out of concern. Saki woke up right after and was confused to see her phone in Nagisa's hands. Frozen with guilt, Nagisa struggled to say anything until Naoya unexpectedly stepped in and took responsibility. He told Saki it was his idea to check her phone because he wanted to understand how she was feeling. Saki shouted in shock, remembering the kinds of things she had been reading. Trying to explain herself, Saki said she had been looking up ways to deal with feeling overwhelmed after being teased by her friends for not being in a typical relationship. She was just trying to understand things better on her own. Naoya immediately apologized, saying he had no idea and that it was completely okay for her to take her time figuring things out. His kind response made Saki even more flustered, and she began lightly in embarrassment, telling him to just forget everything that had happened. Nagisa watched the moment quietly, feeling bad that Naoya had taken the blame for her actions. Later, after everyone had settled down, Naoya suddenly fainted from exhaustion, which sent Nagisa into a panic. She called out to him, but Saki, already back asleep, did not hear anything.